Hey all, Brandeska here. With our first major Splatoon 2 tournament of 2020 in the books, I wanted to talk a little bit about it, as well as some events coming up later this year that have my eye. Just as a forewarning, I didn't write a script for this episode, I just wanted to see kind of how it goes to just ramble into a microphone and see if anything interesting comes out. So be forewarned, if it gets a little bit rambly, that's kind of what we're doing today. Genesis 7 just happened this previous weekend, and I actually had a lot of friends and acquaintances that were on site for the event competing. That was a really good tournament to watch. The commentators were fantastic. We got to see a lot of familiar and new faces in competition, and the closing matches between FT Win and A2M Sayonara were really hype. Those were some excellent matches. We got all the way to game 5. It gave us a lot of cool stuff to watch. Like, there were some highlights that set. It was really good. Very glad that EndgameTV was there to be able to stream all that for us to enjoy from wherever we were at. And you know, on that note, if you didn't get a chance to watch it live, I definitely recommend checking out their Twitch channel and looking through their videos. That's at twitch.tv/EndgameTV1. Anyways, while I did want to go to Genesis this year, mostly just to spectate, watching competition and kind of seeing the vibe from people that I knew that were going to the event to compete kind of got me wanting it more. Like, as I was watching competition, I was like, man, I want to be sitting there. I want to do that. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on this video, but spoiler alert, I signed up for one. Oh my god. But that's enough for now on G7 and how much I wish I was there. Let's talk about upcoming events heading into the rest of 2020 that I have my eye on. By the way, I'll put a link in the description for each of these events so that you can check them out there if you're interested. Starting with the one that I didn't sign up for this time, Beacon 2020 is coming up on April 4th through the 5th in Deer Park, New York. This one was really tempting for me because I'm out of the Midwest, so New York, relatively speaking, compared to something like California, is not really that far away from me. I'm not going to be able to make it this time, but I do know a lot of people from various groups that I follow that are super stoked for this one. So if they are going to be streaming this, I'll definitely be tuning in. Following that up later on in the year is going to be Riptide. That happens on September 11th through the 13th in Sandusky, Ohio. This one is actually going to be taking place at the Kalahari Resort and Convention Center, which, as somebody that has been there a number of times for Collosal Con, is particularly exciting for me. For reasons I won't be getting into in this video, I don't do Collosal Con anymore, so this is a great excuse to go back to the Kalahari again. This was a no-brainer as far as, am I gonna go or am I not gonna go? Like, there was just no way that I was gonna miss this event. The big question really was, am I gonna go there as a spectator only, or am I gonna go there as a competitor? And coming in fresh off of the heels of G7 hype, I decided that I wanted to make this my first major. I'm going to compete. So I registered for a competitor badge, and here we are now. I described it on Twitter as jumping out of a plane with a silkworm and a needle, and basically creating my parachute on the way down. As of current time, I don't have a team, and do I feel particularly competitive battle ready after what I saw at G7? No, but that's cool. My plan is basically to grind really hard from here until then, and while I'm sort of making those connections happen in my brain, I'm gonna see if I can either get onto a team of some sort or create a team or kind of whatever. And maybe that's overly optimistic and can't really happen the way that I'm envisioning it in my head, but well, joke's on you, I guess. I'm too green to know one way or the other. In a lot of ways, the biggest part of the excitement for me is the fact that stuff that I already needed to learn, I just have more incentive to actually learn. Having something like Riptide in September is essentially the payout that allows me to go, okay, you did all the work, you learned all the things that you wanted to learn, how'd you do? And on top of that, I've made a lot of new friends over the last year that I'm really looking forward to seeing at this event. It feels like a huge number of the people that I have gotten acquainted with and made friends with over the last year are gonna be at this event. So if nothing else, I just get to hang out with everybody, and that sounds like a ton of fun. And like, it's the Kalahari. even if you're not doing something directly related to the event, you're at a resort with an indoor water park and a swim-up bar. Go ahead. Try and convince me that's not just awesome. I don't think you can do it. Like, I'm pretty sure you can't do it. So anyways, that's kind of my take on G7 and some of the upcoming events for the year. And in the case of Riptide 2020 in particular, it represents this big, fun thing to look forward to that incentivizes the journey that I'm already on, and I can't wait to see how this plays out. Anyways, that's all for this video. If you like what you saw, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more. Thanks again for watching. Don't let solo queue keep you down, and remember to be good to yourself today.